ready for my walk. Got my equipment, got my hiking shoes on. Let's go. Yeah, this is beautiful in Quartzsite. Quartzsite is not part of the Sonoran Desert though, so that's where the beauty comes in my humble opinion. Yeah. So when I go back down to Tucson, I'm gonna get some filming of the beauty of the Sonoran Desert. It's the most diverse desert in the world. And they call it a desert, but it's not totally a desert. A lot of people think of a desert as, a lot of sand, and the Sonoran Desert is not that. Well, it does have some sand, but, yeah. A lot of diverse animal life, diverse plant life, birds, oh my. I'm getting more and more comments from y'all that you've made the decision that you want to become a nomad. And of course, I'm showing you my life as a nomad and how I got here and how it's progressing as I go along. So I'm not really like, oh, everybody has to, become a nomad, and I'm really advocating. Well, I am advocating it, but some of you just prefer to watch other people do it, especially me. So, and that's cool too. But when I can hear excitement in your voice through your comments that you've made the decision and you're going to start taking your steps, your baby steps to get going. And then I'm getting comments that you're ready to go. You're going to be, either you just started or you're going to start like in a month. Congratulations, everybody. That's great. Because it is a lot of fun and it's very freeing. So I thought I would talk about those first steps. How do you take those first baby steps? you walk around your house and you see all of your belongings, all the things that you have collected throughout the years. Or you might even be young and you're looking around thinking, oh my, I'm starting to collect all these things. Is this what I really want in life? Well, the first baby step that you're going to take, and a lot of you already have, obviously, is here. It's through vision. I recently heard a statement that really made me sit up and take notice. It said, everything you do twice. First you do it in your head, then you do it in reality. So, but this is reality too. But so the very first baby step is in your mind. You know about this lifestyle. Can you vision yourself doing it? Can you see yourself doing it? Oh, I heard another comment. I think it's Maria. Her name's Maria. She goes, I'm too chicken to do what you're doing. I know. It's because that's up here for you, And like I said, I don't advocate this for everybody. You do, if you want to do it, if you can see yourself doing it, God might have a different plan for you. But just yell, I'm too chicken to do this. Yeah, I know. I mean, if as a man thinketh, so he is. Yes. What you hold in your head, you hold in your hand, good or bad. So whatever you want to hold in your hand, go hold it in your head first. So I guess that's my point, yeah. If you want to create a new future, get rid of these old visions back here that you keep dragging with you into your future. And when you're concentrating on your past, you're not creating a future because you're living your life according to your past memories and all your past things. And that's determining your future. So you can, everybody creates their own future. Everybody creates it. But what future do you want to create? There's the question. What do you really want? You got to get rid of that. I'm too chicken to do that. Really? Are you? I bet you're brave. I bet you're brave. We can create who we want to be. We can change. We can create our personality, who we want to be. Oh yeah. But it starts here. So let's keep going on our walk. Okay, we got some chemtrails going on here. I wish they wouldn't do it. I know some people still think it's a conspiracy theory, but the government has already admitted that they do the chemtrail thing. So you see off the brown bushes lower are creosote. And then you see a line of green in the background. Those are Palo Verde trees. And then of course you got the mountains. And then you've got the sky with what look like clouds, but they're not. Don't be fooled. I know. There's a lot of chemtrails going on out here. Yeah. Okay. So, step number 2. I want you to go get a notebook. It could be expensive or cheap. Go to Walmart. Or go to Macy's and get a really expensive one. It doesn't matter. Start taking notes. You want a dedicated notebook that you can start putting your ideas in. Every time you have an idea, keep a pencil or pen near it, and every time you have an idea, go take a note. Eventually you're going to get lists, and you'll probably eventually do the list. And everybody has their own method. I'm not even going to. My method is I would probably make, I would start taking notes. And then you'll start things I want to take, things I want to keep, videos to look at, maps to get, maps to look at. Yeah, states I want to visit, or whatever your categories are going to be. You're going to want to have a notebook that's just dedicated to that. Let me do a quick turnaround so you can see what's going on in this little area. I'm on BLM Land, which is Bureau of Land Management, and it's a federal government agency that takes care of the federal land, undeveloped federal land. It's undeveloped. There's a lot of that, especially out west. And it's here for us to enjoy. There is a limit, usually. You have to check. Usually it's 14 days. And then you have to move 25 miles away for another 14 days, and then you can come back if you want to. Yeah. There you go. Yeah. Step 2, get a notebook. You can even name it. Brown, sort of a greenish brown creosote. Lots of Palo Verde in the back there. There's a nice Palo Verde tree. Very healthy. The creosote look healthy too. This is considered in Arizona they call these washes. Because we have monsoon, when it rains, it really rains hard. There's a bunch of chemtrails. It rains really hard, and these are your runoff points. We don't call them creeks. We don't call them ditches. In Arizona, we call them washes because it washes the water down. This is a very small one. I'm not sure, the last video I did show that dead saguaro cactus. I'm not sure why some of them look so scrappy around here. The bottoms are rotting or they've lost their skin. You know, and we know if we lose our skin, I mean, we're going to get infection and we're eventually going to fall apart. So, and that one that I showed you the last video, it was beautiful. I've studied saguaro, not extensive, I'm not an expert, but I studied saguaro cactus, and those were considered, they call them the spine, the bones, the skeletal system of a saguaro cactus. Why was it dead? Well, in my mind, I'm no expert, I don't know, but I'm going to guess that this really is not saguaro area. Saguaro cactus are in the Sonoran Desert, and it would be south. Now, yeah, you're going to find saguaro kind of peppered here and there. I've noticed that. But they may have been planted here. Somehow they kind of migrated up a little bit north. But this might not be the proper area for them. I'm going to guess that's why maybe they're not doing well here. They're here, but this might be a little bit more dry. This might be a little bit more dry area for them than down the Sonoran Desert. And, you know, which is around the Tucson area. It loops around. I'm not sure. I think it encompasses Yuma, but I'm not sure on that. I know it kind of loops around and then it goes south. So it does go down into Mexico. Yeah, Mexico. Okay, we'll keep going. Okay, so step number 3. It's going to sound weird, but, well, some of you have heard me say this before. I want you to divide your rooms up. I want you to dedicate a room. I want you to empty it out And I want you to make it empty. I want you to now dedicate that room. It would probably be your smallest one. I want you to dedicate it to the nomad life. Anything you see as you start walking through your home and start looking in your drawers and saying, what the heck do I have? I want you to dedicate it to the nomad room. It's your nomad room. Yeah, it's your travel room. And anything you see that you know you want, you've seen on videos, you know you're going to need this, you start putting it in there. It's going to get full. You're going to have to probably in the end go through it and remove some stuff because you can't take everything. I mean, unless you have a Class A, yeah. You got buku room in a Class A, all kinds of little storage areas and things like that. So, yeah. So yeah, right now you might be walking through your house, looking through your drawers going, oh my gosh, where did all this stuff come from and what am I going to do with it? Well, we're going to get to that, but for right now, I want you to dedicate a room to nomads, nomad stuff, essentials and gadgets and things that you know you're going to want. Don't take too much silverware. Don't do it. We were talking about that last night. We were all talking about the fellas go, oh, I got like 7 knives and, you know, like dinner knives and stuff. It's like, wow. For me, I just have one. Yeah, one. In fact, no, actually I have 0, you know, like a butter knife, you know, to spread. I had a really nice one that I really enjoyed. I just loved it. I don't know why, I love the feel of it. And so it was the only one I brought, and then I lost it. I don't know where it went to, but yeah, I probably need to get another one. I've been using the curve of my spoon to spread on butter or something. But yeah, I don't have too much of a repeaters in my nomad life. And then you may want to get like another room and start calling it something else. If you have enough rooms. I mean, some people just live like in a 1-bedroom with their, you know, living room and whatever. But if you have more than one room that you could do it to, you might want to maybe start moving things around. Maybe one room could be things I'm going to sell. And then another room could be things I'm going to give away to my children or my grandchildren. And if you even have more rooms, maybe things I'm going to donate. But you're not going to know, because what I found personally was that I gave a lot of things away to my children, but there were a lot of things they didn't want. I mean, they were getting too much. Yeah. They were such like, Mom, I'm filled to the gill. Yeah, I'm full. I can't take any more, you know. So I had to give a lot away. But, yeah. So, dedicate rooms. You can do it. I've been following this path a little bit. I never noticed this out here before. Looks like a kind of a newer path. I don't know where it leads, but I'm not going to go too far in because it's still kind of early in the morning. And there might be coyotes out trying to settle into their dens that they've got. They might have some pups going on, and I don't want to disturb them, so I'm not going to go too far. Maybe this afternoon I might explore this, where I know they're going to be settled in, and they're going to be probably sleeping. I think coyotes are pretty much awake during the night, I would think. It's where they have their little jamborees together. Probably go find a mate, and they talk to each other and everything. So yeah, they got their little raves going on out here, out in the desert. One of you asked me what I use my tent for. I did a video and I included in there my tent. And I showed what I put in my tent. But one of you did ask me, what do I use my tent for? Well, to put stuff in. I put stuff in there and it relieves me of my minivan. It makes more room in there. So I can kind of spread out. It's kind of nice to boondock because I can spread out just a little bit more. I mean, it's not like I can spread out in the city, right? Yeah, let me get my hat. I always adjust my hat. The wind's not blowing today. Well, not yet. Usually the wind picks up in the afternoon in Arizona. So yeah, and I try to keep things in there that aren't overly valuable. Like, I keep my Gamma bucket and lid. Keep like water. Although my clothes are very valuable, I mean, this time I put my dirty clothes in there, my laundry. At night I can put my chair and my table and my stool in there. Things like that. My trash in a bag. Get it out of the way so I don't have to look at it, and I don't have to live in it. So I don't have to live in it in my minivan. In the city, I can't do that. I have to have everything packed up, and when I take something out, I have to put it away right away to make room. But yeah, with my tent, it's pretty cool. Now, the difference between boondocking, dry camping, and living in the city, I mean, there's good and bad for both of them. So when I'm boondocking, it's nice that I can spread out a little bit, yeah. But I do miss the city because I can go in the daytime, I go to a park, I can kind of spread out there too. I can take my blanket out and sit outside and see other people, and I might encounter dogs and things like that, but it's on a different level. People bringing their dogs to a park, usually the dogs aren't there just for protection, but out here they are. And so you got a lot more barking dogs. You got more dogs that want to snarl and maybe kind of chase after you, things like that, because they're not on a leash out here. But won't go into the dogs again. But yeah, there are definite differences. I like them both. I still do love the city life. I really do. Another thing too about boondocking, especially in Arizona this time of year, well, any time of year, you better be drinking water. Oh yeah, you cannot miss drinking water. You better be drinking it, because you can get very dehydrated out here. You're outside more, and in Arizona, I'm in the sun. That's why I got my hat on more when I'm out here. And I've noticed if I don't drink water, my urine becomes very strong. I can tell that by the color and everything. So I watch that to see what's going on with that. And it lets me know you're not drinking enough water. So you have to drink water. And it's not even like, oh, I didn't drink enough water today. No, it's like, oh my gosh, I did not drink enough water. And you better start drinking water. You can hurt yourself. Guys are very susceptible. They don't drink enough water. They can be susceptible to kidney stones, things like that. And I've heard from males that it is extremely painful. So don't want to have that. And women, we can get kidney infections and bladder infections, and guys too. So drinking water is number one important when I'm out boondocking. I'm in a new spot here. And the only thing I don't like about it, I'm too close to the road over there. Yeah, I don't like to be hearing the road when I'm out boondocking. I'm out here for a reason, you know. But I'm going to be parked near my friend, so this is where he was. No big whoop, as they say. So, the next step to getting closer and closer to your nomad life is visioning what kind of rig you want. What do you want? And there's where your notebook's going to come in handy. I'll leave a link for the types of rigs there are because I did an extensive video on that, so I'll leave a link for that. There's all types. There's little scamps that even a minivan or SUV can pull. I don't particularly like that because I don't like to be living in like this little box, or whatever I mean, they're really nice, but into a little trailer or whatever, and then if there's something goes down, I got to get out and go in. I like being exactly where I'm at. See, we're kind of close to this road too, so. But the main road is not too far. It's only like a mile away, and before I was parked almost 2 miles away from it. I couldn't hear anything. I didn't hear anything, but now I'm hearing it. It's a Saturday, so I must have a lot of traffic. What time is it here? 9 o'clock. Okay, so your rig. You want to decide what kind of a rig you want. I like my minivan. I would probably have one even if I maybe could afford a Class A. I would probably have a minivan. I just like the smallness of it and the easiness of it, and I have everything I need. It's not like I need to carry more things with me. SUVs. Some people are in SUVs, and they're happy. They're happy there. If the only other type of rig, wow, look at some of these chemtrails, the way they're spreading out. Oh my goodness. I'll show that one in a minute. The only other type of rig would be Class C. I love that little cab, that little bed, that area that goes over the cab area. Yeah, that would be cool to sleep on. I would make that. I've always said I would make that my bed. Because obviously I don't need a big bed, yeah. I would make that my bed, and then the bedroom in the back, I would make like a room. I would take the bed out and dump it. I would get rid of it. And then the dressers, they have dressers in there, I would get rid of that too. Oh yeah, I would get rid of that. I would completely redo it. Some of them I've seen, the older ones, the wall, they had like wallpaper on it or whatever. No, I would not have that. And new types of shades on it. Make it look really posh. Make it look really cool for my taste. You're cool. Your definition of cool might be different than mine. I don't like a lot of flashy things. I like a splash of color here and there. That's about it. I like art on the wall or something. Some people put like hippie, real wild cloth, and they'll put it all around their vans. And when they do the van builds, ooh, that's too much chaos for me. I like to keep things simple and do splashes of minimalist type of art. Yeah, but that's if I was going to do have a rig like that, like a Class A, B, or C. It would be C, and it'd be the cab over. And it wouldn't be a large one, maybe a smaller one. I would probably get, I don't know, would I use, they've got stoves in there and everything. I'd have to decide that later. I don't know. I don't have one, and I probably won't, but I would have to decide that later what I was going to do with it. Yeah, but that's what I would do. I would love to be sleeping up there. Make like a ladder that you get up into it. Oh yeah, that'd be cool. So I want you to decide what kind of a rig that you want. You can use your notebook and take notes. And then I want you to start looking for one. If you got the money, start looking. Or just start looking, that way you can price them. But that's your next step. You want to make the decision, and you want to start pricing things. I see a cross over there like something was buried. Let's go see what that is. These are annoying. They're small. They come off easily off their stem, and they have prickers, and they stick to everything. The dry ones turn gray. This is a keeper. Another step, another thing to think about is do not buy anything more in your life. Don't spend your money on anything more that does not involve the nomad life unless you absolutely have to. I mean, like buying things, not insurance and rent, things like that. But if you don't need it for your nomad life and it's an item, don't buy it. Just don't buy it. Start buying things that will be applicable. And then one of the last things you want to think about as you're preparing, this is only in preparation. You're going to want to decide, do you want to keep storage or not? Do you want to have storage? Do you want to, in the town you're leaving, do you want to pay for storage of things that you don't want to give away, you don't want to sell, and you want to keep for later? You might decide that you don't want to be a nomad anymore. Of course, your first choice would be if you have a family member who has a large house, a large property, and they might have maybe a 2-car garage or something, or even a storage shed. They have property that you could put a storage shed on just for you. That's a great idea. So yeah, you can do that, and you can leave things with them, especially if you're a young person and you could use your parents, and they probably, I have found in a lot of cases, parents are more willing to help their children because that's their role. I must help my children. You raise your children. Not all, but some, most of it. But I think that's a little bit more, you'll find that more than children who want to just go out of their way to help their parents. There are, and I'm but I think the other reversal is the parents wanting to help the child. Oh yeah, they're probably like, yeah, we'll clean out the garage for you. You keep your stuff here in case you change your mind, and please hurry back. Yeah. So, but a lot of people actually keep a storage unit. It's a monthly fee. A lot of times they pay it year or 2 years in advance. But if not, it's going to be a monthly fee. They'll probably take the charge out automatically. And yeah, you'll be paying for that. I never wanted that because I always felt like anything that I would keep in there, that over time of paying storage over and over and over, is I could have bought that item a couple times over in the end. So yeah, I did get a storage unit in the very beginning because I left Tucson, or I was in Tucson, and I was going to Ohio where my daughter and my son-in-law were. So that was going to be my first adventure. But everything was finished. My home was empty. I turned it over to the next one, and I went inside my minivan. But I was still in Tucson. So I lived in Tucson for 2 months. And I kept a storage because I wasn't exactly certain yet what I was going to take and what I wasn't. And there were also things that I was going to take to my daughter. I didn't want to drive around Tucson with day after day for 2 months. So I did get a cheap storage. It was $50 a month. So altogether, I spent $100. And I kept those things in storage, but I also kept other things. Like I would go to the storage often, drop off my dirty clothes. I had a lot of canned foods in there. It's like, I'd go to my storage, what soup do I want to eat today? What do I want to do today? And then there were things that I could also keep in there that I knew I was going to use and take, but I didn't want to drive around Tucson and waste gas on it, because the more weight you have in your rig, the more gas you're going to use. So yeah, I had a storage for 2 months, and then I got rid of everything. And anything that I thought I might take but I didn't, I got rid of. Yeah. So those are your steps to take now. Remember, it starts here. Get that notebook and start making notes and lists, lots of lists, and check them over all the time. Decide what rig you want. Watch my video on the different types of rigs. And clean out some rooms. At least one. You can also do stickies, Post-its, and tag things that sell, keep, things like that. If that helps organize you. Whatever works for you. And if you do have the room, start moving things around. A hand truck will help. Talk to your family, have a meeting of the minds, the old family intervention. Yeah, we're gonna have an intervention, and I'm gonna call it on myself. Yeah. So that's in my advice to get started.